Hey there, welcome to day 44 of our BU 365-day challenge, our annual challenge to do one thing every day, a little thing every day, a single daily action that improves us in some way, shape, or form. Our first segment, we focused on the physical area and aspects of our life. This segment, we are focusing on the emotional. We skipped to emotional. You don't have to focus on any area or aspect of your life in any particular order. It's what's going on with you that's important. But in order to make this a little bit more structured, I decided we would take the life framework, which is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, and I added confidence and communication last year. Obviously, I need to work on communication still, but those 9 areas and aspects of our life, and there's all different life frameworks. You pick the one that feels right and feels best for you. My hypnotist, Victoria Gallagher, has a different framework that she uses. She has 6 areas. Just about every guru I can think of has a framework that they use where they analyze and they look at their life. My friend Jennifer has her own. Everybody I can think of has a framework that they use, and that's their frame of reference for considering the different areas and aspects of their life. So I use this one, and that's what this challenge will be based on, but you can tweak it and change it in any way you need to that works for you. Just like our topic today. Today we are going to talk about your emotional core values, my emotional core values. What are core values? Core values are those things that we believe and hold so dear that they help to guide our decisions and our choices. They help us to know where to draw that line in the sand in terms of, yes, we'll do this, or no, we're not. They actually make decision making really, really easy because we know what is and isn't for us. And how do we come up with what our core values are? How they make us feel. So I could read you a big old list of core values. I've done this exercise several times before. All I did was Google core values, and you get people's top 7. You get other lists of entrepreneurs or successful business owners or leaders, or however you want to search it out. You can find out what other people's core values are. But again, it doesn't matter what works for other people. It matters what works for you. Now, there's a process that I like to use. It's really a simple 6-step process for identifying your core values. If you've never done this exercise before, and believe it or not, the vast majority of people on the planet have not ever sat down and consciously thought about what they believe in, what their core values are. So if you've never done it, you'll be surprised how powerful an exercise this is. First thing you want to do is just write down off the top of your head what things are important to you, what things make you feel good. For me, love is always at the top of the list. I don't know about you, but love makes me feel good. Loving my kids, being loved by my kids, my grandkids, my sisters, my siblings, my parents, my grandparents when they were alive. Love is just something that's always been central to my being. So that's an easy one. But there's all different core values. Just Google it if you're having a hard time coming up with a list. It's kind of like when you're doing your resume and you need action verbs to put in your resume. You go up and you look up a list of action verbs. The internet's a very powerful, fun thing now because we have information and more than we could ever use at our fingertips. So we want to identify what are our top core emotional values. The second step, I'm throwing stuff around, no idea what it is. Looks like an old calendar. The second step is to consider people that you admire and what their emotional core values are. What emotions do they comfortably exhibit and show? Maybe authenticity or telling it like it really is super important to you. And people that you admire, you find that the people that you follow on social media, the people that you listen to in your work or business life are those that are they have a ring of authenticity and truth and really being who they are. That would be another one for me. Be yourself. And I don't use the word authentic so much. It's just be you, be yourself. So love and be you are probably my top 2 so far. Number 3, consider your experiences. What past experiences have you had and how have they impacted what's important to you? A lot of times we have big lessons or big challenges in our life, and overcoming them teaches us a lot about ourselves and what's important to us. Resilience, not quitting, always persevering. That might be something that's one of your core values. Showing up, being consistent, whatever it is for you, you want to identify emotionally, how do those things make you feel? Fourth, consider and take those and categorize them. Normally when I'm doing this exercise, we're talking about all of our basic core values for every area and aspect of our life. So what are our overall core values? And we would like to group them and segment them. And I actually group mine by where they fit into the life framework: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And of course, we're focusing on emotion this particular time through this process. And so look for the central themes in the things that you write down with respect to your emotional core values. Then choose your top ones. And what I like to do, finally, the sixth step is to choose your top core values. And what we're going to do today for our action is we're going to share your three top core emotional values. I guess mine are love, be yourself, be me. I say be me, but you would say, be me or be you. I say be you if I'm talking to you. And what would be my third top one? I'll have to work on that today. I'm not sure because, I have a lot of them. I probably get gratitude, maybe appreciation. One of those. So our action item today is to do that. Now, I said yesterday that I would share a tool that guarantees you can make it almost impossible to feel the negative emotions, a negative emotion that you don't want to feel. And I actually did this yesterday. I ran through and I did the exercise on fear. And all you do is you define fear or anger or hatred or jealousy or any other emotion that you don't want to feel anymore. I did it for jealousy a long time ago because I'm like, why would I want to feel jealous ever of anyone, right? I want to support people in their achievements and feel good about them, because if I feel good about other people's achievements, I will feel good about my own achievements. So I did this with fear, and all you do is you think of the most impossible things that have to happen in order for you to feel fear, and you connect them. You use the three-letter word "and" as a connector. This is a long-standing NLP, neuro-linguistic programming strategy or tool that anybody can use anytime to create what we want, right? The whole concept of neuro-linguistic programming is the power of words and language and how we use it to quickly and easily change and transform our lives. So if I want to make fear almost impossible to experience, I'm going to connect a whole bunch of things that all have to happen simultaneously or for a long period of time in order for me to experience fear. Now, let me give you a couple of examples. For me, fear used to be pretty easy to feel, right? If I was scared or surprised, or if I was outside of my comfort zone, to me, I would identify that as fear. But I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to take small risks. And, the truth is, most of the fears that we feel as human beings today are artificial or made up, or they're based on beliefs or scare tactics of other people or other things that are trying to influence us. I remember thinking, I used to be afraid I'd lose my job, right? Had little kids at home. And I don't know why I was afraid I'd lose my job, but probably because I'd gotten fired from a job before. So I was afraid. I always had this little fear niggling at me that I was going to lose my job, which was a total irrational fear, like most of our fears are. So how do we take fear and redefine it for ourselves so that we only feel it if we're being chased by a bear, or if we're literally being held at gunpoint or knife point, or we're in a really scary situation where we need our conscious mind to kick in and that old fight and flight mentality to take hold of us. But otherwise, if it's picking up the phone and calling a prospect in our business, if it's asking our boss for a raise, we don't want to have the same type of fear in that situation as we do in being chased by a tiger, right? So I like to take and define fear and all the other emotions for myself. The positive ones I connect with ors, so it's easy to experience them. The negative ones, the ones I don't want to experience very often, I make a huge definition and connect it with ands. So here's a couple of examples. To experience fear now, I have to be in a high alert stress situation in all areas and aspects of my life at least 50 times a day for a minimum of 90 days. Or, and I messed it up in my brain. And without ever knowing what to do, having no idea for about anything in my life for 3 weeks, and no one is able to help me or direct me or solve my problem, and I have to da 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 da. I didn't do a very good job sharing that example. I did it yesterday. Let me see if I did more on the next page, because it was basically, yep, I did. And no one can help me in any way, and no one will do anything to make me feel better or less stressed, or myself to feel less scared, and I can't do anything to make myself feel less scared. So that means, and then it goes on and on and on with all the ands. Then I could experience fear outside of being chased by a tiger, right? So I'm going to define fear so that it is actually impossible for me to get there and experience this. I did this with depression in my 20s, and it was when I first started to learn about a little bit about neuro-linguistic programming, and I don't know a lot about it, but I've looked at it enough to take the tools out that work for me and apply them in my life. I did this with depression. I did it with obviously, I did it with parts of fear, but not with all types of fear. But it's a good example. I did it with frustration, but the other day I did it with irritation and impatience. And now I found already by the same day, I wasn't feeling as impatient in situations that used to trigger my impatience or trigger my irritation, right? And I don't want to feel irritated or impatient very often. I think they're a waste of my emotional energy. So you can, for extra credit today, try on the and to eliminate an emotion or to reduce your experience of an emotion that you don't want to feel anymore. And we can talk about this more because I squished a big couple of topics together today. If you have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow, and maybe I will do a better example and really write it out and detail it out on how to do the and, because I think that the or and the and for experiencing easily the emotions we want to experience and making it almost impossible to experience those we don't want to experience. It's such a quick and easy and powerful tool. It doesn't take anything. You can do it anywhere in your head and instantly feel better. All right. Any questions? Ask. I actually set up direct messaging on this particular Facebook Live. So if you happen to be hearing me live, you can comment right here or ask questions here and direct message me. Otherwise, you got to look me up, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. All right. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.